Hey there, and welcome to Building a Scalable Knowledge-Based Business, where you will learn exactly how to tap into your unique skills and expertise and turn them into scalable products. Together during the session, we'll explore how to break free from the grind of trading your time for money and build a future where your knowledge actually works for you. It's all about creating the financial freedom and the flexibility that you've been dreaming of and making it feel achievable and exciting. So let's hop right in. My name is Coach Trey. I'm a creative strategist and a vision interpreter. My mission is to help people just like you to turn their expertise into something bigger, scalable products that make an actual impact on the world. So, whether you spent years perfecting a skill, leading in your industry, or gathering experiences that no one else can replicate, I am here as your guide to take you through this journey and help you to define what you know and what you love and turn it into something that not only supports your goals, but leaves a legacy that you can feel proud of. And I can't wait to help you make that happen. So, we'll begin with lesson one, the true cost of trading time for money. In this lesson, we'll explore why trading time for money often means not being paid what your time is truly worth. And by the end of this session, you'll understand how valuable your time and knowledge are and how you can begin to align your efforts with your greater purpose. So let's talk about understanding the time money trade-off. For most of us, the traditional path to earning a living involves exchanging our time for a paycheck. So whether you're clocking in at an office or managing clients, or you're just providing a service for someone as a freelancer, your income is directly tied to the hours that you work. And while this is a common approach, especially in the United States or in the world that we're in today, it's inherently limiting because number one, there are only 24 hours in a day, and you only have so much energy that you can give out during that time. Number two is expenses often outpace income, especially with inflation and prices going up, leaving very little room for saving or for growth. Not to mention any unforeseen circumstances like medical emergencies, inflation, or heck, even a flat tire. And then number three is the income you generate during your working years must also sustain you through retirement. And I don't think a lot of people really take this to heart and think about this, but your income is capped unless you work more hours or you charge higher rates for the services that you provide. So, my question to you is, are you being paid what you're worth? Many hardworking professionals find themselves stuck in a cycle where their paycheck just doesn't reflect the true value of their time or their expertise. So let's take a look at an example of this. Meet Sally Sales. She is a professional customer service manager. Sally went to college. She grew up. She got good grades, just like, that typical uh, American dream. We go to college, we go to school, we get good grades, we get to a good college, we graduate, and then we start working in our career at about 25 years old. Sally plans to retire at age 65. This means that she has 40 years to work. And during this 40 years, she's working 40 hours per week for 50 weeks out of the year because she takes 2 weeks of vacation time every year. Now, Sally earns on average $25 per hour. We put Sally at $25 per hour because that's the average that a lot of people make during a career or when they first start in their career. Maybe they get some raises or things like that, but we're going to stick Sally at $25 per hour. And Sally has big dreams. Right now, she's single. She has big dreams of building a family, maybe owning a home, but she has big dreams, and this is her beginning. So let's explore Sally's life and let's do some math. First of all, if Sally retires at 65 and she starts working at 25, that means she's working for 40 years, as we've discussed. During that 40 years, she's working 40 hours a week. And that's 50 weeks out of the year. So she is working 2,000 hours every single year. For 40 years, she's working 2,000 hours. That means that during Sally's working time, she's working 80,000 working hours throughout her 40 years. Sounds like a lot, but when Sally trades that for $25 an hour, Sally's income becomes $2 million during that 40 years. Now, for some people, that might not sound like a lot of money, but for others, that is an extreme amount of money. So Sally is making $2 million during this 40 years. And if we divide that by the 40 years, she's actually making for $50,000 a year. So that's decent. But wait, what if Sally lives until she's 80 years old? Remember, Sally's going to retire at 65. Doesn't mean she dies. Okay. This means that Sally's salary needs to stretch beyond her retirement age. So that $2 million isn't going to be divided by 40 years. It's actually going to be divided by 55 years, which would give Sally not $50,000 per year, but $36,363 per year, or $3,030 per month. And if we get that down to the hour, she's not making $25 an hour. She's actually only making $18.93 per hour. So what about Sally's expenses? Let's break them down. First of all, we know Uncle Sam needs his money and he takes it off the top. So after paying taxes, Sally's monthly take home is $2,700 in net pay, right? So now Sally needs to pay her rent, her utilities, her cell phone, her car, her insurance, her groceries, her gas, and any miscellaneous items that she needs, like maybe hygiene items or clothing. You know, Sally needs things, so she's unless she's gonna wear the same clothes, or she's gonna have to pay. She's gonna have to spend some money. All right, and then with these numbers, we're gonna assume that Sally lives in a decent area because she pays 1,200 in rent. She doesn't have any kids, so she's not really needing much more than a one bedroom or a studio apartment. And then she's also paying for her utilities and, you know, her cell phone. So these are variables, but we're gonna assume that they're around $2,300 every single month. After Sally pays her expenses, she's left with $400. Now, $400 isn't bad in disposable income because Sally's expenses are paid. She can save this money. And if she does that for 12 months, that will give her $4,800 left over per year in disposable income. Now, over this 40-year period, this $4,800 is going to add up to $192,000. And this is in disposable income that she is going to be able to live on after she retires. Now, let's assume Sally will maintain that $2,300 in monthly expenses even during retirement. So that means that her expenses will never change, which we know is not very common, but we're going to assume in for the case of Sally that she's going to stay at that rate. Okay, she's got a wonderful landlord. He's never going to raise prices. Inflation never happens to her. She just has the perfect, credit score. So maybe even her car payment stays down. You know, she's got this car that just lasts her whole life. So her expenses are going to just be the same. Now, during this time, Sally needs 15 years worth of income to cover her monthly expenses. And if she does that for 15 years, she's going to need $414,000 for retirement to just sustain her monthly cost of living. This is not considering Sally taking any vacations or any trips anywhere, or this is just for her cost of living. So what this means is Sally actually is falling short 223 that or $222,000 to sustain her lifestyle. She's falling short this much after retirement. This leaves her in a deficit. And remember, this is not counting inflation, emergencies, healthcare costs, any shortfalls, any vacations. So this shortfall reveals that trading time for money often isn't sustainable. It undervalues your time and it limits your potential. And this is why we see people in their older age working part-time jobs even after they retire from their main job. They're like Walmart greeters, or they are working at part-time jobs at retail stores, or they're working at Salvation Armies, or they're finding things to do to sustain their lifestyle because their income is not enough. And let's be real, with Social Security going down or almost being completely gone, pensions, we can say goodbye to those because pensions for retirement just really don't exist for the newer generations coming up. And then we have our retirement funds, our 401ks, and things like that. So we're really not standing on solid ground. And if we're trading our time for money, we're really in a tough position. So let's discuss what we do next. My question to you is, what is your purpose? To move beyond that, we have to ask, what is our purpose? We have to recognize the greater purpose. Your time is precious, and your unique skills and experiences have immense value. Trading your time for money alone often prevents you from pursuing your greater purpose, whether that's sharing your expertise to help others, building a legacy that lasts beyond your working years, or achieving financial freedom and spending more time on what truly matters. I don't know if you've ever heard this story, but there's just this story where when people get on their deathbed, there's this saying that no one ever regrets, you know, the money. No one ever regrets what they didn't do at work. Most of the time, they regret the things that they have spent their time on. They didn't spend enough time doing something. And so my question to you today is, what is your purpose? What are you spending your time on? And yes, I say spending time because even though we say spending money, money is something that we use. We use it and we can get it back. Time is something that you never get back. So, what if you could turn your knowledge, your insights, and your story into something scalable and impactful? You have knowledge, you have insight, and you can inspire others and transform them using what you have. So let's reclaim your value and your purpose. Let's take a moment, grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and answer these questions. If you need, while you're listening to this video or watching this video per se, you can take a piece of paper, you can pause this video, and you can take some time to reflect on these questions. But truly ask yourself, are you satisfied with how your time is being valued in your current work? Are you satisfied with how your time is being valued with what you are currently doing right now? What dreams or goals have you put on hold because of financial or time constraints? What have you not been able to do? What have you put to the side because you didn't have the money or you didn't have the time? What are those? And how could sharing your knowledge and your expertise change not only your life, but the lives of others? How could sharing your knowledge leave a legacy for someone else? How could it be that thing that just helps someone else bypass 10 years of a struggle in their life? What would you say to the older version of yourself 10 years ago, 5 years ago? What would you say to that older person? What knowledge would be valuable to them? You have the power to create something more meaningful, a knowledge-based business that allows you to share your unique gifts and earn what your time is truly worth. If this lesson has resonated with you already and you're ready to explore a better way forward, I'm inviting you to book a free consultation with me, Coach Trey. Together, we will evaluate your unique skills. We'll map out a plan to turn your expertise into a scalable, knowledge-based business. Let's build a future where you have more time freedom, more income, and more time for your family and the things that you love. And let's do it on your terms. Thank you for joining this lesson. In our next session, we'll discuss how to identify your unique expertise and begin the journey of transforming it into a business model that works for you. Until then, reflect on how your time and knowledge could be better valued. And let's create a life you don't need a vacation from. See you soon.